Welcome to another weekly balance. I've missed you guys the last 2 weeks as I've been out of town, so I'm super happy to be back and continue with this series. So for today's balance workout, all you're gonna need is a chair or a wall, something to hold on to for support. Nothing else is needed. It helps if you're barefoot because shoes tend to kind of inhibit our movement and our ability to use those little muscles in our legs and our feet that are going to help with our balance. So if you can be barefoot, amazing. If not, that's totally fine. And to kind of preview today's session, we're going to be doing a little bit more of a stretch section, but also bringing in balance. So we're going to be doing all upper body stretches, all standing, all incorporating or mostly incorporating some balance. We're going to be doing a lot of isolated leg movements, or I guess standing movements with these stretches. So as we begin here, just join me in a march. As always, we always start with this march here to make sure that we're getting warmed up, getting our legs, our arms, everything moving, getting our heart rate up. I will never stress this enough that no matter what you do, even if it's a small stretch workout, you always warm up, or at least do something to begin to get your body moving. So that's why we always start with the march. And go ahead and join me with some bigger steps here, bringing your knee about as high as you can. Awesome job, making sure you're moving your arms back and forth as well. And go back to the small, quick steps for about 10 seconds here. Three, two, and one. Awesome job. Now that we're all kind of warmed up, shake it out. Make sure your posture is nice and tall. Make sure that you're not holding any tension anywhere that's going to inhibit you from completing a stretch. So the first thing we're going to do, just to get the upper body moving and getting a little bit more warmed up, we're gonna do some arm circles, but we're gonna be isolating, standing on one leg each time. So we're gonna begin with forward arm circles, and we're gonna be standing on our right leg. So I want you to start with these arm circles, forward motion, and then when you're ready, go ahead and bring that left leg up, standing on your right leg. You have that chair there for support if you need it. And if you find this challenging, you can tap your toe on the ground for a little bit of stabilization, but ideally we want to hold here. You can do as big of circles as you want, as small of circles as you want. If you find this a lot of tension on your shoulders, you can bring your circles down closer to your side. And we're here for about 10 more seconds. Hold it, you can do it. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Shake those shoulders out. I know mine, arm circles, it seems so easy, but man, they really get that tension up there. So shake it out. Same thing on the other side, except for this time we're gonna go backwards with our circles. So when you're ready, go ahead and join me with some backward circles. And then when you feel ready, join me with raising that right leg up, standing on your left leg here. Again, experiment with, well, I just hit my plant. Experiment with bigger circles. You can do little circles. You can bring them down. I don't want you to bring them higher though. That can kind of put strain on the shoulders. So either be at a level area here or lower. Keep holding that balance. Make sure you're squeezing your core. That's gonna help you with holding on that stabilized leg. We'll do 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Whew. Shake it out. We are warm now. As you kind of get your bearings here, take a little bit to gain your breath, get some water if you need to. We're gonna start into some of these stretches. So the first stretch is gonna be a shoulder stretch. And again, we're gonna be doing these, each side we're gonna be standing on the opposite leg. We're gonna be doing what's called a dynamic stretch. So there's a time and place for dynamic and static stretching. Dynamic stretching is typically good for before workouts. It just means that there's a little bit of movement in with the stretch. And then static stretching is good for after workouts, and that just means you're holding a stretch for about 30 to 45 seconds. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of both today. And so what we're gonna be doing first is we're gonna be starting with our right shoulder stretch. we're gonna be standing on our left leg. So first we can start with the shoulder stretch, and I'll demonstrate. You can join me when you're ready. But what that looks like is starting with our right arm out, bringing it across our chest here, holding for 2, and then we're bringing it right back out. So once you feel ready, you can go ahead and bring that right leg up, standing on your left leg. Now the key here with this is when you bring your arm in, you're not holding onto your elbow, you're not holding onto your wrist. That is gonna affect your ability to do the stretch correctly. So you wanna hold on to a good stabilized part of your forearm, and you wanna keep your shoulder away from your ear. We're not hunching, we're nice and straight. Holding that balance as well. If you need to tap down, perfectly fine. We have a lot of movements going on here. But we're gonna be holding this for about 15 more. Great job. Hold on to it. You have that chair for support if you need it. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and let's do one more here. We're gonna hold it on this last one, okay? So we're gonna hold for 5 seconds here. I know it's super hard. Hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and shake it out. Get your balance again. I know these can be tough, and you can actually kind of work up a sweat doing these. I know I do. So I don't know if it's because I'm the one like teaching it, or if it's just because it is a good workout, but probably both. So when you're ready, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So left shoulder stretch, standing on the right leg. So when you're ready, let's start with that shoulder stretch, just to make sure we got it all together. Then we can add in the balance. So starting with your left arm out here, we're bringing the arm across, holding for 2, bringing it back out. And then when you're ready, raise that left leg, standing on your right leg. Awesome job. Paying attention to your core strength here, your posture. We don't want to lean forward. We don't want to arch our back here. We're nice and straight. You should be feeling this stretch right through the back of your shoulder. Awesome job. Keep holding it. 15 more seconds here. Great job. And we're going to do about 3 more here within the last 5 seconds. So 3, 2, and the last one we're holding for 5. So hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Shake it out. You're probably starting to feel those hips kind of fire up a little bit. The calves are firing up, hopefully. And that's good. That's a sign that those small muscles that you don't usually work in your walking or your lower body movements, those are working now. So that's gonna help you with your balance. So the next movement we're gonna be doing is an overhead back stretch. Now I'll offer a modification for this as well, because I know some of you have some shoulder limitations that prevent you from having your arms above your head. So that's perfectly fine. You can do the same stretch, horizontal or vertical. So as we kind of get our breath here, get some water if you need it. We're also gonna give our legs a little bit of a break. And we're gonna be doing this one, we're not gonna be standing on each leg, we're gonna be alternating. So a little bit of a break, not an entire break. So I'll demonstrate the stretch first, and then we can bring in the legs second. So we wanna start with the stretch, hands above our head, and then we wanna go to kind of like a goalpost, and then back up. The key here is you're squeezing those shoulder blades, okay, as you go backwards. You wanna kind of imagine a pencil in between your shoulder blades, and you wanna have a little bit of an arch. So we're not forward, we're a little bit arched here, and we're pulling our arms back. Now the modification, before I show the modification, we're gonna be bringing our legs up with each as you bring your arms down, you're bringing your legs up, and this is going to bring in that balance component. So bring this in if you feel ready for it. If not, you can stay on 2 feet. The modification for this is bringing your arms forward and back. Okay, so this is gonna limit that over the head, shoulder strenuous part of it and allow you to still get that same stretch. So whatever you feel is best for you, you can kind of do a combination of both, but it's hard to keep track of where you're going, so pick what's best for you. And this is not a fast movement, okay? We're not doing an aerobic movement here. We're getting that deep stretch in the back. So go as slow as possible. Awesome job. We'll do about 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Great job. That stretch is really, really good for posture. And so if you're someone who struggles with that hunch in the upper back, just do that as you're standing in line at the grocery store, or you're making dinner. Do a few reps of those shoulder or that back exercise is really going to help you out there. So next thing we're going to do, we have 3 stretches or exercises left here. So the next one is going to be a chest stretch. So we're giving our legs a full break on this one. We're going to be standing on 2 legs where we feel safe, and we're going to be broadening our chest. So what this looks like is 2 different things. You can just hold your arms out to the side like this, broaden your chest. If you can interlink your arms, that's best, okay? But sometimes we have that shoulder restriction. So again, we're holding it here or we're interlinking, and we're just gonna hold this. Now the balance portion comes in is we're gonna look up when you're ready and look down, but we still wanna maintain that broad chest. I'll turn to the side a little bit so you can see what that back looks like with this stretch, but you should feel it right across your chest here. We'll hold this for about 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Shake that one out. I know that's kind of a tough one. It really works your biceps as well as you're opening up that muscle, opening up those arms. So that's a really good one, especially after doing, if you're someone who does push-ups or chest days or whatever that looks like, opening up that chest can really benefit you. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna be doing side reaches. And if you wanna get fancy, we're gonna throw in a calf raise for balance. If you wanna just get the stretch benefit and not get the balance benefit, that's perfectly fine. You can just do the side reach, but I'll demonstrate for you and what this looks like all together. So the stretch part is just simply feet shoulder width apart, and we're reaching from side to side. So we'll start here. Again, we're going slow here. We're wanting to really hold that stretch. You should feel it right here in your side. Now, if you want to add the balance part, when you hold, you do a calf raise. And then you come back up, you hold the stretch, and come up on your toes. This one can feel a little funky because your head is sideways and you're throwing that movement in. But again, if you want to just keep flat-footed and get that stretch in, you're more than welcome to. We'll be here for about 10 more seconds. Adding my calf raise in for due diligence. 3, 2, and get one more in here. All right, great job. Shake it out. Hopefully your upper body is feeling nice and loose and warmed up and ready to take on the rest of your day. So what we're gonna do is end with some neck rolls, just because they're a nice cool down. You're still getting that upper body benefit of that stretch. And it's a nice thing to do if you're feeling stressed or tight up in that neck. So starting feet shoulder width apart, we're just gonna roll our neck nice and easy here. Now you can go all the way around, or you can just go side to side depending on what you feel is best. You can there's no structure to this one, okay? Just do it to feel good. So if you wanna go side to side, if you wanna go in a couple circles and then go side to side, you might hear some snap, crackle, and popping like I do. Awesome job. We'll do about 5 more seconds here. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Great job, everybody. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me on today's upper body stretch, throwing in some balance in there. And next week, we're going to be doing lower body stretch and some balance, and then we'll bring in some core stretch and balance. So stay tuned for the next few weeks. Stay cool out there, and I'll see you guys next week.